Hello, Guru Nation. Welcome to episode 202. Can you believe it's 202 already, Lucky? Maybe you can.
With how much content you put out, yeah.
Tons of it. Lucky, I've got Lucky on. Everyone also on YouTube watching. If we decide to put this on YouTube, it's definitely going on the podcast. So, Lucky, what have you been helping me with? We're working on a very special project.
I've been helping you write a clinical research book.
Lucky is the ghostwriter for the book. Mm-hmm. You're putting everything together. So, what's the book about?
It's going to be pertaining to everything to do with clinical research, from site-level dynamics, what every position, every role does in clinical research, and how the whole site works.
Mm-hmm. And how far along are we? I'm going to pull up the outline. We'll go through the outline right now. Do you have it in front of you?
Let me pull it up right now.
Yes, and I'm going to take some notes as well, so that, because we've got to hustle to get this thing finished. Mm-hmm. All right, the goal was by the holidays. Do you still think that's possible?
Holidays as in like
Christmas, New Year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I will have like 3 good weeks between Christmas and New Year, like last weeks of December, to go hardcore on all the like final edits.
Okay.
Me and Chris. The problem is getting there, right? Let me pull up the outline. So yeah, I'm real excited about this book. It's something that's needed. There's not very much out there. Mm-hmm. Comprehensive, and the ones that you know what sucks, the stuff that is out there. First of all, there's nothing general. Everything in this industry is specific and specialized. Mm-hmm. So, and those books are like $300. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is going to be a comprehensive clinical research guide, okay? General understanding of research, but a thorough understanding of research. So what's the book? Okay, part 1, clinical research landscape. It looks like we're going to have 8 sections so far, right? IRB is section 8.
Yeah.
And we've done, what have you done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yep.
We've done 4?
We've done up to 3.
Okay.
We're on the 4th right now.
So part 4 is where it gets into like site level dynamics.
4 is going to be a big one, I believe.
Yeah, with all the modules we're pulling
in the
from
previous ones, we introduced regulatory and source docs, but we didn't go into like super depth about it.
So let's go through it. Part 1, clinical research landscape, a bird's eye view. Let me pull up. Do you have what you've put down so far? I have it too. I can pull it up.
Yeah, I have it.
What do we have on that one? Give everyone. This podcast like a preview for the book, like a sneak preview of this book, which by the way is great for anyone that wants to be a CRA, a coordinator, or even for sites that have new people that they just hired, that are research naive, even for doctors that are research naive. It's going to be a thorough but easy to understand overview, written in plain language.
It's like no doctor language, none of that.
No, and any acronyms, we explain what they are, because this industry is full of acronyms. You learned that when you were in the CRA Academy, right? Full of acronyms. So let me pull up the book folder. Okay, but part 1, give us an outline. I have part 1 and 2 here, and then I have part 3. And I have an updated part 2, so we've been going back and forth on this. So what do we have going on here?
All right, so part 1 is the clinical research landscape. It basically goes over all the general stuff of clinical research, such as like the sponsor, the drugs, where the money comes from.
Clinical research landscape, a bird's eye view. Yeah. Here's why we did that, because when you introduce something and you get into specifics right off the bat, you don't know where you are in that forest. Yeah. It's like being in a forest and then talking about a tree. Right? Where are you? Where the hell are you in this forest? Where are you going? How many trees are there?
And where do you want to
end up? What kind of trees? Yeah. Otherwise, you're just talking about a tree. Who knows what that means, right? So this is why this is the first chapter. We get into who the sponsors are, the CROs, the sites, PIs, CRCs, CRAs, IRBs, FDA, and how they all interplay with each other. Was this section difficult for you to write?
No, this section wasn't that difficult. I think a lot of this stuff was available online. It was just hard to imagine how they all interplayed and intertwined, who checked each other's roles.
That's where Chris and I come in. But see, what the issue in creating this book, we have from all the videos, like thousands of videos I've done, hundreds of podcasts, academies with like 24 modules, webinars from those academies. I mean, there's so much content. We have this book. We have like 10 of these books. We just need to put it all together. And that's where you come in. So it's not like you're just writing it from nowhere. Like, Lucky knows his stuff, but he's not like just coming up with the stuff on his own.
But I'm not a guru.
Well, neither am I. That was a joke when I came up with that name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was a joke, but then it stuck, and it's good. But yeah, none of us are gurus, but we have enough to create this comprehensive guide. It's an introductory book, but it's gonna be good size. It's gonna be like I don't know, maybe 40, 50 pages, maybe a little more. And we still got to talk about whether we're gonna put illustrations in there, graphs. I don't know. So far, we don't have that, but we've still got a couple months left. Okay, so. This section talks about the process of clinical research, how it coordinates several key players with one another, like sponsors, sites, vendors. We got to get into vendors too. I'm going to get into a little bit of the vendors, like EDC vendor, IWRS vendor, the stuff you were doing earlier today with Monica.
Yeah.
There's a lot of vendors, but I don't think we need to bombard people with, let me write this down. We don't need to bombard people because there's about a dozen vendors for every study. But I think we're just going to focus on
the main ones.
The most important ones, like EDC. Maybe I'll even throw in CTMS at this point. EDC, CTMS, Trial Master File, IWRS. Okay, so I think that's good.
And are some of these vendors like provided by like IRBs?
No,
they're separate entities.
Yeah, actually, the IRB is a separate vendor in and of itself. But the IRB is part 8. It's section 8 of this book, which we didn't even get to yet. Yeah. But that, I think I could write that one. I think I put notes that I need to write that one. Okay, the sponsor plays one of the most influential roles. We get into that. We're gonna get it. How are we doing with the references? Where are we getting this data?
You gave me one of the videos to reference, and then I'm typically getting the references from like government sources, just to make sure that they're legit.
Okay. Yeah, that's where you come in, and where do you think Amy's gonna come into all of this? Graphics?
Yeah, I think she's going to be graphics. Yeah, she's really likes organizing
So
things.
with the references you find and cite, she can create like a little illustration about that concept, right? Okay.
Or typically I'll find stuff off the like FDA website as well.
Okay. All right, so then section 2, we don't want to give away the whole book. Section 1's long. That's good. Part 2 is we get into the different phases of clinical research studies here. So that's a lot also, but I'm going to use the revised one because I know you updated part 2, which is even longer now. Wow. Okay, so part 2, different phases. I see you already have citations here. Okay, so we could talk about phase 1. We'll make a small mention of animal trials, but just maybe a few sentences, and then we and also before animal trials is bench research, right? But then animal trials, and then phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're gonna get into that. Okay, so after that section was that difficult for you? Where did you get all this info from? Like our academies?
I believe I got this one from the academies, yeah.
Okay, I see phase, the purpose, targeted accrual range of patients, what kind of participants, and then the typical duration for these kind of studies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. So we're giving everyone an overview of every phase. This is going to be great for people looking to get jobs, too. Okay, section 3, regulations. Right? I think you did this section also. Yep,
yeah, this is the most recent.
Part 3, regulations. Okay. So we discussed the FDA, GCP. You pulled info from the FDA's website. We focused on, since this is a new book,
mm-hmm.
right? We're going to just start with the new GCP revisions, which occurred after 2016, which basically states that the sponsors are the ones responsible for the conduct of the study. Also use Week 4 Site Academy module. Okay. I would also add a subsection illustrating different regulatory pathways for studies, like drugs versus biologics versus devices versus diagnostics versus procedures. So I need to come up with that. I have that. We just need to put it on there. And I think that's a good one for Amy to illustrate once I have it.
The pathways, I was like...
Yes. Don't worry about that. I will do that. Section 3. See, we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're creating a podcast, a video, maybe 3 birds with 1 stone, a video, and we're getting this book done. Okay. So, regulatory pathways for the different types of studies, like drugs versus biologics versus devices. Because now, in 2018, 2019, it used to just be drugs. Mm-hmm. Now it's devices, diagnostics, biologic, like exosomes, which is what we're doing as a sponsor now. Yeah. We're just in the bench research phase of that, but pretty soon we're going to be rolling out phase 2. I think we can bypass phase 1, and that's where it gets complicated too, and you have to follow the regulatory pathway for those things, because sometimes you can skip phase 1, and with devices, sometimes you can skip up to phase 3 if there's a predicate device. Yeah.
As long as you know that they're safe and applicable.
The FDA has guidelines, like guidance for how to do this. And these are people called regulatory affairs. They get paid a lot of money to map out the pathways for whatever you're testing. Yeah. And then they have conversations with the FDA, and they create like a roadmap that the FDA would find acceptable.
So it's like a guidance counselor for drugs, basically.
Yes, but they charge a lot. These regulatory affairs people charge a lot. We're working with one on our exosome thing. He's this old Chinese guy. He's a guru. Right? He's really knowledgeable on this, but he's just a specialist. He only understands that. He might benefit from this book too, because he only understands this little section,
like the specifics of it.
He doesn't really see the whole picture. Very few people do. But we need to get more people to do that, because it helps everyone in their careers. It helps everyone with more opportunities for themselves. Keeps you diverse, right? So regulations, what else? You talk about the FDA. What else do you do here? CLIA. I see CLIA.
Yeah.
IATA.
CLIA waivers.
You're
IATA
certified
training.
for all those.
Yeah.
Regulatory startup. You've helped Monica with this, right? So you can write this from a first-hand experience, what a site does when they're starting up a study.
Yeah.
As far as regulatory startup. Now, you've done it. You've done that. How difficult is it to articulate that in a written form to a layperson?
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to describe regulatory, but...
Why?
Because there's some things that might seem like they're startup, but they're not startup. And then there's other things that are startup that are really important to do, and you got to do it like the sooner the better. But then they'd make it sound like it's not that important, I suppose.
True. We have to convey that properly. And also, not all regulatory ends at startup. There's then a whole regulatory maintenance.
Yeah.
Did we get that in here? I see regulatory startup. You get the CDA, you get the protocol, informed consent.
Later down, I talk about things that
protocol signature
are part
page.
of startup but aren't.
Yeah, these are all the startup. Okay, I have to keep it. So part 3, we have to add. We have startup, regulatory. I need to get in there and talk about regulatory maintenance and regulatory closeout. Okay, because that will add more. That would add more bulk to this book. And I think it will clarify a lot, right? If you can look at something complex like regulatory and break it down into startup, maintenance, and closeout, it becomes much simpler.
It's a lot simpler.
Right? So we have startup. It's plenty. I will include maintenance. Well, you can do that too, right? Maintenance and the closeout.
But then I wanted to say, since this part is just for regulations, I wanted to save some of that for the next chapter, for the next part, because that one's source documents and regulatory.
Okay, so the next part. Okay. So maybe we'll just introduce these concepts, right? Like let them know, hey, there's a startup, there's a maintenance, and then there's a closeout for regulatory. We're gonna get into that in the next section, but here we discuss the startup.
Yeah.
Okay. Introduce it. Okay. So you can do that, right? Just add it there. Okay, introduce it. Okay, so that's all the parts we have. My comment here was please include OHRP, International Conference on Harmonization.
And I put that towards the bottom.
Oh, you already included that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then give a preview for the IRB section appearing later in the book. Yeah, because part 8 is IRB. So this will be like a preview, a brief overview of what a central IRB is and what a local IRB is. Okay, let's put that here. Central.
Yeah. I've already done that one too.
Oh, you did?
I don't know if you're looking at the updated one or not.
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll check my email again.
It should be the most recent email I've sent you.
Okay, good. So I'll save that one. Good. So it's actually not that. This is not that difficult to pull off. We have it all. So the next section, site level dynamics.
Yeah.
That could be the most difficult.
I think this is one of the most difficult.
Yes, because we're including everything. Modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. From Site Owner Academy, you're going to watch all that?
Not all of it, but maybe the stuff that pertains to source docs and regulatory.
Right.
Man, I mean, with this section, you might just get everything from the Site Owner Academy.
That's what I'm thinking. Wait, and modules 2 and 4 from CRA Academy. Because that's when, like you said, source and regulatory is there. Yes. Source and regulatory from the CRA Academy is from a coordinator and CRA perspective.
Yeah.
Source and regulatory from modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10 from Site Owner Academy is more of an overview.
Yeah.
And then modules 2 and 4 from the CRA Academy are more
internal,
zoomed in, right? Okay, so that's going to be a tough one. We will collaborate on that. Let's get that done before Thanksgiving. Because if we get that done, the next sections are simple.
Yeah, monitoring
is easy.
Yeah, I'm sure you know plenty of monitoring.
Well, we even wrote a book on monitoring. I wrote a book, Kindle, on monitoring. So we can incorporate a lot of that into the book, into this book, right? I think I sent you that. And so that the monitoring section is going to be easy. That's section 5. We just need to make the ebook that I wrote a few years ago a little better, right? Then we're going to have a separate chapter on source data verification. I'm going to also include source data review, which is something I didn't put in there. Source data review. Because there's a difference between SDV and SDR. I tell every student here. SDV is not hard. If the source says somebody weighs 120 pounds, you don't need a high degree to see if 120 pounds is in the EDC. Yeah. That's SDV. That's the easy part of monitor's job. The hard part is SDR, where you got to grab this
physical
protocol and go through this source and make sure that these people are are conducting the study properly according to this.
Yeah, so that's more
that doesn't show in the EDC. Yeah, that doesn't show up in the EDC. You wouldn't know based on just SDV if you're following the protocol.
So SDR, you have to be there in person in order to do so?
You don't have to be there in person. I think we got to put that in the book too, because you can do remote source data review. All you need is the protocol and the source. And you can, sites now scan the source.
Oh, okay.
Like, I can review this. I'm actually SDRing Monica's visits later today, right?
So you would just have them scan the certain parts that you need. Okay.
And that's actually what our oncology CRO is doing for our first study we have. We're doing a lot of remote monitoring, but we're also going on site. But we're doing the remote SDR and SDV, of course, as much as we can. And then when we're on site, we do regulatory and things like that. But these days, you can even scan those things. So we need to keep this book modern because it's going to come out in 2019. We should talk a lot about eReg, right? Like, that's going to start becoming a thing now. Esource is already becoming a thing. We're going to start using that here. Yeah. eReg is next. Like, where your whole regulatory, all your reg docs are going to be in something like Intralinks.
That's kind of concerning if you think about it. If everything, why? I think if everything is on technology and you don't have any like paper backups, that's kind of scary to think about if something ever happened. Plus, this is like clinical research. This is like private information.
And you're a youngin, and you feel that way. Imagine the old people in this industry. It's gonna be challenging, but they're moving that way.
Yeah,
they are moving that way. And for this to be a 2019 book, and I want this to be relevant in 2025, we have to include eSource, eReg.
I think there's more pros to it, though, than there are cons.
Tons of pros. I actually...
Takes
where
less
would
space.
be good... So not in monitoring. I want to include virtual trials. And I think we could include that in Section 7. Sponsored Dynamics.
Okay.
So let me put that here. Section 7. I'll write that part. Include section on virtual trials. I'll write that and I'll put I'll send you the links for the references and you can just footnote them and stuff. Okay, so that'll be good. Let's go to number 6 though. CRO Dynamics. This should have monitoring plans. And maybe the risk-based and traditional monitoring section. Yes, we've got to explain the difference between risk-based monitoring and traditional monitoring. Here's what I told you. Don't worry too much about this part, as Chris and I will revise it, but just put a basic framework such as monitoring plans, audits, site selection, hiring and training CRAs, as well as training other roles within these organizations like project managers, medical monitors, lab vendors. We'll write this, just put the framework.
Oh, yeah.
So,
just organize.
You put, Section 1, Dan, write about monitoring plan. Section 2, Dan, write about audit.
Oh, yeah.
I'll fill that in.
Okay.
I can do that on a plane.
Okay.
Not a problem. I can do that in an hour. Okay, so this book can get done soon.
And then are you going to do, a whole chapter of just hiring and training each of those roles as well? Okay.
Section. How do you want to do this? Because there's 8 sections, or 8 parts. Are each of those parts chapters, or... Because, each part is approximately 2,000 words?
Yeah.
Or more?
That's around... I'd say 2,000 words, at least.
2,000 words. How many pages in a book is that? Let me see. Did you Google that? Let me see. No. 2,000 words is how many pages in a book. We're going to have a printed book that's going to be cheaper than the Kindle. Because I want the printed book to be used.
But then you're going to make it so students get the ebook, right?
No, I think it will, students from our academy, we'll just mail them a book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 1,500 words is 3 pages single-spaced, 6 pages double-spaced.
Wait, say that again?
1,500 words is 3 pages single-spaced, 6 pages double-spaced.
Oh, okay.
2,000 words is 4 or 8. So, each section is about, let's say, 8 pages. Because they'll be double-spaced with images, graphs. So every section is 8 pages, approximately. Maybe more. Let's say 10, because the pictures and all that, right? Let's just do easy math. We have 8 sections, 10 pages each in a book. That's like 80 pages, plus an intro and a conclusion, which I'll write. So let's say 90, and then references. So like 100 pages.
You sure you want a double spacer or single space?
I mean,
because I feel like
this
I haven't
book,
seen many books that do double space, to be honest.
I'm trying to find one with a picture. This doesn't have any pictures, but I mean, isn't this double spaced?
I thought that was single space.
Is it? No, single space is like this.
Is it really thin? Oh, okay, then, yeah.
Look at it. You see the difference? Look.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You see it?
Yeah. I guess it's just a lot different.
That's why. I mean,
on
yeah,
on a whole paper than.
Yeah, there's little like tricks to making the book, like designing a book. We might even hire someone who designs books to do this. But yeah, this is easily lucky at this if we maintain the same pace, which I think section 4 is actually going to be like 2 parts, honestly.
Or like 2 chapters to it.
Yeah, like so. But if every section's 10 pages, I think section 4 might be 20 because there's a lot. So this is easily over 100-page book, easily, which will make it the biggest book I've ever put together.
It'll be the biggest book I've ever put together, period.
Well, yeah, right? You put books together before?
No.
It'll be the only book you put together.
Exactly.
And we're going to give you credit somewhere on the book. Maybe we'll dedicate it to you. To Lucky, thank you. All right, Lucky, cool. What else? Okay, so section 7, sponsor dynamics. Wait, section 6. Yeah, section 6, Chris and I will do. So I'm going to put here.
Yeah.
You outline it. Okay. Chris and I will write. Section 7, sponsor dynamics. There's a section from the business ebook. I wrote a business ebook on clinical research a while ago that shows different types of studies and their purposes. I will write a good amount in this section, such as how the GCP update puts more responsibility on the sponsor. I will get into data analytics. So, data analytics and its role in research. And section 8 is easy. That's IRB.
Yeah, it just seems like after the first 4 or like 4 sections, everything
Number
else just
4
flows.
is gonna be a pain. Number 4 is it's brutal. Break it down piece by piece. Section 4, site level dynamics. Each of those modules is a topic. Okay, break it down as that's the topic. Just start with an outline. Yeah? You feeling confident?
You want to start right now?
Oh, you can, yeah. But do you have access to Intralinks right now?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at it right now. So,
yeah.
Module. Just in that order as well?
Yeah. I mean, we can always change the order around.
Okay, yeah.
So, you feeling better about this project now?
Yeah,
it doesn't
seem
that
like the first 4 are the toughest. I think.
Seems insurmountable when you're just looking at that, but when you break it down like this, I'm glad we did this podcast. Hopefully, people find some value out of it. I don't know if they will, but it's a good preview for the book, maybe. All right, thank you, Lucky. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We should hope to have this book available sometime in 2019. It's going to be the best clinical research book you have ever put your hands on.
Yep.
Trust me, I've put my hands on many expensive ones. This will be like $60, not $300 or not $600. I've even seen some for $1,400.
Really?
Ridiculous.
And people actually buy it?
People bought it. When I first started, I bought a thin book this size from Center Watch about introducing research to a PI for $400. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
And now you do it for like...
We're going to do everything for like 60. All right. It's going to be great. All right. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Support the conference, too. We will have this book available by my conference next year. You know about my conference?
Yeah. I think you...
2019.
Sent me something.
It's on my email signature.
It's going to be next
everything.
October, right?
October 4th through 7th in Orlando at the SeaWorld Renaissance. You're going to go.
Am I?
Yeah, you should go.
Okay.
Yeah, people are going to want to hear from you.
Okay.
Yes, you're going to go. You're going to teach them how to break into the industry. This is going to be for researchers that are established, new researchers,
and
people that want to work in the industry, established people that work in the industry, and then we'll have sponsors and CROs and vendors. Of course, they all want to be there if these people are there. Because they could recruit people for positions, they can find new sites, they can find vendors, right? So we're doing a Kickstarter. We need to raise $25,000 by Thanksgiving. We're nowhere near that, but I haven't really been pushing it.
But it's just starting out.
I think
Plus
we'll do it.
Time.
I think we'll be able to do it. But here's the good thing: if you support the Kickstarter, you get like half off of your conference ticket. Like you'll pay for it, and it's half of what you will pay if you don't support the Kickstarter.
How much is it to pay for the conference?
It's gonna be like $3,000. This is $1,500 on the Kickstarter. All right. If you want to be an exhibitor, it's $4,000 here. It's gonna be like $12,000 if you wait till after the Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
If you just want to contribute $50 or $100, $500, there's different perks. I'll help people with their CVs, help people with their websites, business plans, developing an email pitch, depending on the levels that they are donating or contributing. So there's a lot you can get, even if you don't want to go. If you're out there listening or watching and you don't want to go to the conference, but you need some help right now, like you need a CV to be done for you.
Yeah.
$50. That's it. Contribute. And then we'll convince you why you should go to the conference too. I think for $500, there's a day before the conference in Orlando. You have to pay for your flight and hotel, but Chris and I are doing an all-day career coaching, breakfast and lunch, for people that contribute $500. And you can apply that $500 to your admission. Once you're there, you're probably going to want to spend another $2,000 to go for the 4-day event, right? If you're already there. That's the thinking. So, all right, Lucky, thank you very much. Feel good about this?
Yep, feel great now.
And you're going to speak at the conference?
We'll see.
We'll get you to do that. We'll have you read the book. Oh, and we're going to do an Audible. We're going to do an audio book too. First, we're going to sell the main book. Then I'm going to record an Audible literally right here where I'm going to read the book, but then I'm going to go off tangent like we are on this podcast, but more specifically pertaining to those topics. So it's almost going to be like a separate book, the audio book. So people are going to want to do both.
Yep.
All right, Lucky, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.